WWE is coming to Lyon, France.
This is uncharted territory for
The
them.
sports entertainment juggernaut
Plans to follow up a historic WrestleMania
by hopping across the pond avec ses talents et son savoir-faire.
The event is called Backlash.
WWE's first premium live event in Lyon, France. And here we go! Welcome to WWE Backlash!
Welcome, my name is Hobbsy, and welcome to the Happiness Fighters Army, where we're all about fighting for happiness and fighting against the darkness of mental health, physical health, be it chronicle or non-chronicle, life, and the big bad world right now. WWE wrestling and wrestling in general is something that brings me pure happiness and joy, and I said in my last video that this channel is basically going to be around wrestling and whatever brings me happiness and joy and fight for my happiness. So I have decided that from now on, when a live WWE PLE is coming up, I'm going to do a prediction video before it and then a reaction video after watching it on that day. And so you guys can see my true reactions, get my thought process on some of the matches, where I think storylines could go, and just what brings me happiness, and I want to share that with you guys basically. And the next live WWE PLE is in Paris, France, which I never really got the attraction of going to Paris. I get it for other people, it's just not somewhere I'd like to go. And also we get SmackDown this week in France as well, which makes sense, the travel arrangements, everything like that. I do know a little bit of French, and that is the word yes, which is oui, which will never stop being funny in my eyes. Never. Sorry if this offends any French people, but when you guys say yes, especially yes, yes, which is oui, oui, it's so funny. I am like, it will never stop being funny, that word in French. Also, I know welcome, madam, or hello, madam in French, which is bonjour, mademoiselle. That's the closest to me speaking French you'll get. And the only reason why I know this is my auntie taught my mum a little bit of French when she was learning it in high school. And then my mum taught me when I was younger. And yeah. Okay. Little bit of information you need to know about me. Firstly, your girl is a dedicated WWE fan, but she's not dedicated to watching it on TV at 3 a.m. in the morning, like Backlash is going to be airing on Binge in Australia, so she'll probably be watching it at a reasonable time because sleep is very important to her, so she will not be watching it at 3 a.m. in the morning. No, more probably around maybe 10 a.m. So she'll be going off social media that morning as well, so you won't hear from me on my Instagram or TikTok until like later that afternoon. Also, I am filming this video before WWE Friday Night SmackDown and the WWE Live Backlash press conference in France, so there might be matches or announcements made that affect Backlash after this video airs, and I'm just letting you guys know that I probably won't be talking about them until my reaction video. So with that, let's get on my predictions of WWE Backlash, shall we? Okay, now I'm going to say my predictions for all the matches, and then I'm going to do a surprise element at the end, seeing that there's only 5 matches announced at this moment, that there could be some sort of surprise element of what could happen, like we could have a special guest return or something like that. So we'll start with the first match that I've got written down, which is Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, I think Cody's going to come out of this still champion, but I think LA Knight's going to get involved in this match and cause it a disqualification, and then that'll settle out AJ Styles versus LA Knight in Hell in a Cell at Clash of the Castle. Because these two just need to go at it in a Hell in a Cell match. Plus, we haven't had a good Hell in a Cell match for a while. I reckon that's what's going to happen with this match. Next match is Team RKO, which is Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, versus the new looking Bloodline members of Solo Sikoa, and I'm going to say this guy, I'm just going to call him Tonga for this video and the rest of the videos, because I can't say his name and last name without effing it up, so I'm just going to call him Tonga. It's easier for me. And I think this one could go either way. It could be like Team RKO gets the win, Team New Bloodline gets the win. What did I write down for that? I didn't really write any predictions down for that. So I'm going to go, I know who I want to win, and that is Team RKO. But I feel like this match is going to start the story of a really great feud between these two tag teams, I would call them. And you could eventually put Jimmy and Roman on Team RKO and then have, say, 2 other members on the New Bloodline. Maybe even The Rock could come back and enter this. I reckon this match is going to set up a great storyline for Survivor Series. And it's going to be Cody, Roman, Randy, and Kevin versus The Rock, Jimmy, Tonga, and Solo. A Bloodline Civil War type of match at Survivor Series. I reckon this match will set up that storyline. But I don't know who's going to win this match or how's it going to go. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm not going to predict anything for it. But I will say that there's going to be one prediction and then there's going to be carnage. That's the prediction. Now, the next match is Team Storm EST, as I like to call them, which is Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And there's only one prediction for that, and that is Team Storm EST is taking those championships, the Kabuki Warriors, and becoming the new Women's Tag Team Champions, and they're going to be great at it. And I reckon the first opponents after winning it will be Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, maybe. If not them, I think... I'm just trying to think who on SmackDown would be a good... Do we have any women's tag teams on SmackDown? I don't know. But yeah, they're just going to have a really great run. And then the Kabuki Warriors will stay on Raw with Damage Control, and then they'll take on Becky Lynch and set up a rivalry for, say, Becky, Bayley, Charlotte, and I'm going to say Lyra Valkyria versus Damage Control now at Survivor Series. But yeah, Team Storm EST is definitely taking those championships off the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash. Now, talking about women, we'll go into the WWE Women's Championship match, which is Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley. Now, I have admitted that I am not a Tiffany Stratton fan, and I get why everyone's getting on the Tiffy Time bandwagon, but I'm just not one of those people. I will admit she does have what it takes, but I don't see her winning this match. And I'll explain why later in the video. But I see Bayley coming out champion still. It'd just be too short of a run for Bayley to lose it now. I think, yeah, and then that'll set up her and Nia Jax in the future. You could even put Naomi teaming with Bayley versus Nia Jax and Tiffany. Something like that. But I feel in my heart and my gut that Bayley's still going to be champion at the end of the night. And I am loving Bayley as champion. It's like when Becky got out of Charlotte Flair's shadow back in, I think 2019. When she turned on Charlotte. It feels like that for Bayley, like she's finally getting her spotlight and that she deserves, and I'm loving it. So yeah. So Bayley's going to be champion at the end of Backlash, and yeah. Now, the last match is Priest versus Jey Uso, Yeet, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And even though I am a Ute fan, a Jey Uso fan, I don't see him winning it. Just because I think it's too short of run for Priest to lose it. But if Jey does lose it, I think it's going to be because of the not Bloodline. See, I get Judgment Day and Bloodline mixed up. Judgment Day interfering with Finn, Dom, and JD, and then Priest will either just go off at him, or he'll say, I'm out of Judgment Day, I'm done, and beat up on them. And then this would set up a really great storyline for when Mummy, aka Rhea Ripley, does return back to the ring. Because lately I feel like they're showing the cracks in the Judgment Day. And then I reckon when Mummy Rhea does come back, she'll get them all back together, and we might lose one or two members. But yeah, I feel like Priest is still going to be champion though, and I'm okay with that. These two men both deserve it, so either way, I'm not fussed. Now, they're the predictions for the matches. Now, these are the surprise elements that I think are going to happen. Firstly, I think Charlotte Flair is going to get involved in the Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley for the Women's WWE Championship match, because there's been sightings of Charlotte Flair being in Paris, France. So she could be there because of her husband Andrea, because he's on SmackDown now. But if she's not, and this is a storyline trip, I feel like she's going to get tickets to the show. Just sit in the front row, and then you could have Tiffany Stratton be like, look, I'm better than you. And then Charlotte's like, yeah, you're... And then Naomi or Bayley comes and like sort of like a distraction moment for Tiffany to take her eye off the ball, and that will cost her the match. And then this will set up a really great rivalry storyline later on in the track when Charlotte does return from injury, which I've got a funny feeling is going to be just before SummerSlam. Because if I worked out the math right for the 9-month injury, works out around in August. So I feel like at SummerSlam it's going to be Tiffany Stratton, the next Charlotte Flair, versus Charlotte Flair. I don't know if there's a title involved, but I feel like this could happen. And a Backlash will be the starting moment or the stepping stone to that storyline. And if this happens, I will lose my mind. And if this does happen also, I'm going Charlotte Flair. Don't get me wrong, Tiffany's got the things, but Charlotte's got the more experience and knowledge. And yeah. So that's the first surprise element. Second surprise element is, I think whoever is this entity to do with the QR codes, which people are saying is Uncle Howdy, which I think it is now as well, I reckon they'll make their appearance at Backlash. This is a very big what-if surprise. If it's not Backlash, it's going to be either Clash of the Castles or SummerSlam. It's coming soon because the clues keep amping up. And people are saying it could be 6 people, like a fraction. And I thought I'd just try to work out who could be in this fraction as well. And I think, firstly, it's just going to be Uncle Howdy returning, which is Bo Dallas playing Uncle Howdy, if you did not know, which is Wyndham's, Bray Wyatt's actual brother. So that would make sense. Everyone would love this. And I feel like this fraction is going to be like an elevated version of the Wyatt family, too. And the people that could possibly be in this fraction are, even though he's on TNA, don't get me wrong, I don't mind where he is, but you could see Matt and Jeff Hardy be in this, like broke, woke Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. Jeff Hardy versions, I reckon, would work in this. You could see Nikki Cross in this as well. Explain why she was zombified for so many months. Alexa Bliss, of course. She was part of the Firefly Funhouse. You could see Amber Fire and Isla Dawn in this as well because of their persona. And And lastly, also because he was in the Wyatt family faction, Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men. And I don't think all these people will return, like, in the fraction at one time. I think over the next, say, 6 months it will develop. And if this happens, I'm all for it, because we need a supernatural faction sort of character like Kane and Undertaker were, and Wyndham Bray Wyatt was as a Fiend. We need that in WWE. So I just really want to see Uncle Howdy, Broken Matt Hardy, and Brother Nero Jeff Hardy together. I would love to see this, but Broken Matt Hardy's in TNA in the moment, so we don't know. But yeah. So there are all my predictions and surprise predictions for WWE Backlash. Let me know in the comments what your predictions for Backlash are. Who's going to win what matches? What's going to happen? I want to hear your guys' thoughts about Backlash in the comments. Also, if you want to follow me on my socials, it is Hobbsy the Happiness Fighter. I post more of a daily content on there, even though this weekend it'll probably be a bit stagnant, as your girl will have to be going off social media to avoid spoilers. But yeah, and I hope you guys are having a great day. If not, I'm sending you virtual hugs.